Alright guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video. Funny enough, this is a true story. So we need to make an EZA TUR update list. This is obviously after full Power Frieza got a Super EZA. And then we also need to do one for DOKKANFEST TURs. I was a little bit slow to get to that because I wanted to see first form Frieza in action for the normal DOKKANFEST TUR one. I wanted to get a lot of footage of Vegeta in action. I wanted to see, Rose in some of the new fights. I wanted to see Roshi, see all these things. I actually sat down, in my head, I was going to do the DOKKANFEST TUR one first, but I just kind of I don't know, I just autopiloted and realized, oh wait, I did the EZA one. Well, whatever, we'll just record it. So, EZA TUR tier list is coming first. Some minor changes here. The thing about the game right now is that LRs run this shit. Right? I don't know. LR Kid Gohan and Piccolo are a character that would be they'd be one on this list, and maybe two. I don't know. But I don't know, just an LR like that, although, they come out in a couple of days. LRs like that, dominating the game all over the place. TURs are just not as impressive. Almost all these characters have distinct holes very easily in one of these fights. Now, for me right now, I think there's 4 major fights that could really kind of dictate how good a character is. There's the Goku and Frieza fight, there's the Bulma fight, there's the Super Gogeta fight, and there's the Super Janemba fight. To me, those are the 4 main fights that I'm kind of using to judge characters. We'll see fights that, turn 1 are going to be harder than Gogeta and Janemba. We'll see fights, like Bulma, that are more gimmicky than Bulma. We'll see fights that are more toxic than Goku and Frieza, right? They just go up and up and up and up and up. A lot of the rest of the fights in the game, there is a lot right now, but they truly are just kind of weaker versions of the big ones we've got. So let's jump in. The last time I made one of these, kind of spoiler alert, we'll just jump over to here. September 28th, this is before the Super Gogeta and Super Janemba fights came out, right? I figured there was going to be an EX part LR EZA. I did not anticipate that there was going to be actually 2 contenders for hardest stage in the game, which the Gogeta and Janemba fights were. So there are a couple of things that well, actually I think there's only one change. We'll get to it when we get there. In future Gohan starting at 10, I don't really have a ton to talk about with him here. He's a character that can perform pretty well on Goku, Gohan, and Trunks' team. Legitimately, he's a nice option. He's got support. He's got defense. He can do some stuff. I don't hate him. I think he's effective. I think he's solid. I don't know that I really need to talk about him too much. Just remember he's got a lot of these Trunks restrictions right there. And obviously right here. But Goku, Gohan, and Trunks are one of the best units in the game. So it doesn't really hurt future Gohan having that, right? It's kind of I remember, characters that had that Trunks restriction, and then LR Vegeta and Trunks come out. It's oh, well, that Trunks restriction doesn't really matter so much now, does it, right? It's a little bit of a similar thing here with future Gohan. All right, so we have that. Next, we have in Gotenks. I know a lot of people, hate in Gotenks, and I totally get it. Dodge or die. Again, I'm not Mr. Dodge everything. I will take, a nice beefy beast of a character who could just sit there and not take damage at all and not have to rely on dodge chance 100%. Dodge or die characters are not my favorite. No. There's no dodge or die characters you could point to that is one of my favorites besides AJLUI. But most of the time he's not dodge or die. This guy is. I mean, the defensive levels he's getting. Once you get all the way to Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, yeah, I mean, he could probably do some tanking. But it takes a long time to get there. This guy would be higher up on this list. Remember, we know that the way his dodge chants work, they do stack together, so this is going to become 60%, and he does become quite good. But it just takes a super ridiculous long time to get to Super Saiyan 3, right? Second turn, you'll transform into Super Saiyan Gotenks, and then you need to then float him off immediately. And then when he comes back, you got to be above 70% HP, and then you can go into Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. You don't really see this guy, is the problem. Right. Whereas Kefla, it's just next turn, you're in Super Saiyan 2. Not really for Gotenks. In these fights, like Gogeta and Janemba, most of the game just gets terrorized and decimated within 2 seconds. This guy will be okay. I probably could put him in front of Physical Kid Buu now that I think about it. And let's grab the next one. Tech Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. Do I want to? You know what? Ooh. People are going to get mad, but I mean, yeah, it's the same. I think I am actually. Yeah, no, I'm going to do that. Yeah. Because, okay. All right, well, I guess let's talk about Physical Kid Buu. Physical Kid Buu is super good, right? I think, super EZA character. I think he's awesome. But it's just, it's a little easy for him to just get killed, man. Like, he just dies easy. Like, it's not, maybe sometimes or something, like, we've seen it, man. Like, a lot of these videos, Kid Buu has been getting walloped. He's been getting smacked in a lot of these, like, long videos and stuff like that. We've been seeing him get disintegrated, man. He can take massive damage. Poor little Kid Buu out there. And it's not, I don't even know that it's really like as he builds up that extra damage reduction stuff, which is obviously good, but he could just get killed so easily. We go into that Gogeta or Janemba fight. I mean, we've seen this guy die a lot in there to the point where, like, I'm not even really dying to run him. I mean, the Gotenkses are pretty easy to run because it's like, I don't know, we go into the fight, in Gotenks, slot 3, he dodges, all right, we're off the hook. And then, next turn he'll be Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks is quite good, because he'll be up to, 80% chance to dodge with this right here. Remember, after he super attacks, he's going to have 80% chance to dodge. He potentially can have the damage reduction, although this guy's defense is not going to be enough, I'm thinking, at this point for that damage reduction to be too effective. This is going to be a dodge or die character, but, I mean, he's got a really high chance to dodge. So, yeah. I got to remember the second tier list to update that. But, yeah. So, that's a big difference. We'll talk about this now. That's a big difference. This was before Gogeta and Janemba, who just insta-kill Kid Buu repeatedly. Gotenks and Gotenks give us a really healthy chance to dodge, at least. All right, next, Videl, and then let's grab the next character as well, which is Kefla. Videl and Kefla are just, very solid characters. Funny enough, both are STR, so they could supercharge Janemba's damage on any given turn, but both are very impressive. I think we were using Videl in the Roshi video, and she was cutting up Janemba pretty easily, right? Like, Videl's got some power. I mean, we could run her on the Buu Saga team, which is obviously enhanced after the, Family Kamehameha Gohan. Videl's EZA. This is one of the few characters not on Global. Right now, there's very few characters that aren't actually on Global. This Videl, unfortunately, is one of them. I think that she's pretty good. I just don't want to go too crazy because, again, she's just in all these situations mostly going to be dodging or dying. That's it. It's like, these EZA TURs, they're not like, okay, like, we could give them huge dodge, but then also huge defense as well. No. There's only one on this list that's got that, and they're at number 1. And then Kefla. Kefla's good, right? Kefla is just very solid. She does need a lot of orbs. I mean, you could certainly make it happen pretty easily if you run on, like, Master Roshi's team. I mean, she could be good. She could potentially do a lot of damage, although the damage Kefla did that was, like, jaw-dropping and stunning, back in February and March and stuff like that, now is way more common. But, I mean, Videl is still good. Kefla. Kefla has been a real effective character for many, many months now, right? Especially on Global. She came out in February, right? And it's like she's been very, very good since then. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think of Kefla. But, potentially getting the Super Saiyan 2, she's going to be pumping out 20 million attack stats. She's going to be able to have that nice chance to dodge. She could do a lot of damage. I like Kefla. Next, we can grab Tech Ultimate Gohan. Tech Ultimate Gohan, very effective as well, but it's just, I mean, his method, he probably works better against, like, Bulma or Goku and Frieza, because he does have to stack up. His first turn's not the worst ever, because he's going to be guarding with the damage reduction. So, like, if he gives you, like, a quad super or a triple super in slot 2, Tech Ultimate Gohan, I think, can be fairly effective, but it's just, like, just guarding is not really enough anymore. Like, for this Gohan to have been, I think, like, way better, is if this was, this would have needed to have been permanent. Yeah, I think if this was just up at all times, he'd be, that's probably what it need to be. Or, like, this could be on super attack. Like, he gets this right here on super instead. And, like, that's what it would take to, to bump him up. But It's just, dude, bosses hit so hard. Gogeta, turn 1, is supering for 4 million. I mean, it's like, it's just no shock. I probably could even drop Gohan maybe even down more. Maybe this is more of a respect placement here. I feel comfortable with this for now, but it's like Gogeta comes out with that 4 million attack, and it's like, dude, like any type of tanking that some of these characters can have just doesn't matter. Like, it's just like, for easy, like, you're dodging it or you're dead for a lot of characters, right? Like, it's like, EZA TURs don't really have LR Beast Gohan or Tech Carnival Broly and shit like that. All right, number 3, we have Super EZA Broly right here. I do like Super EZA Broly. He could take a lot of damage early on, is the thing. He really can. It's like, if you don't get a lot of this up, which there's numerous reasons, this character in particular, more than any other character, I've found the orb pathing to be a huge nemesis to have to deal with. There's been many times where, because he doesn't get extra ki per rainbow orb, his pathing is not actually pushing him down that rainbow orbs. So sometimes, he won't get as many rainbow orbs as you want. If you get 4 rainbow orbs right away, he's probably going to be okay. But the biggest enemies can just kill this guy very fast. But, I mean, Broly really has great value for the Bulma fight. And I think he could be very effective for the Goku and Frieza fight as well. Remember, there's different roles characters can have in these top fights. And what this guy can do in those 2 very difficult fights, I do really like. But it's just, early on, before this is like full, like all this is built up, this guy really is kind of like a fish, man. He can take so much damage. I really do want to respect him with the huge support. And it's like, once this is up, I've found him to be, much more safe compared to maybe a character like, Physical Kid Buu. But I don't know. I have seen him take a lot of damage, but I've also seen him look really crazy at the same time. He's interesting. And that rainbow orb changing to me right now is so crucial, right? Because, again, we have the Goku and Frieza fight, toxic mechanics everywhere, right? We've got, Gogeta, Janemba, you better be able to deal with 4 million supers right away. And then there's the Bulma fight, where it's like, either you have rainbow orb changing, you have additional supers, you have very heavy debuffs, or you're a god character, like, Beast Gohan or Tech Carnival Broly. If you don't have one of those, you're not really going to be effective at all in the Bulma fight. This guy's a rainbow orb changer. He could really get the job done. Next, Full Power Frieza. Full Power Frieza has one of the most valuable things you could have, which is being able to just sit in slot 1 with 80% damage reduction. Very powerful Big Bad Boss's character. Maybe this is a bit high? No, I don't think so. Nah. It's only the character in front of them is the only character I would put in front of this Frieza. I really like that damage reduction he's got, man. That shit is really nice. It certainly does feel good when a character can, again, not have to rely on like a dodge or die mechanic and just tank it, right? Which Frieza's got. But it does only last for a couple of turns. Like, once you get past this right here, this is Frieza's 3rd turn. Once you're past that, you can be exterminated easily and definitely. You can get wiped out, because as his damage reduction starts to go down. But I've found this Full Power Frieza to be pretty damn good. And then finally, we have Trunks and Goten. No shock here. Trunks and Goten, potentially, it's a little bit of a gamble right at the start, right? Because they build up right here every time they are targeted, if they get hit or they dodge. But, then they build up to 80% dodge. And, they can have 80% crit, damage reduction, additionals, 2-turn support. This character is ridiculous to me. Like, them building up to that 80% dodge and just having that all over with the damage they could do, the potential support they could have, the potential 100% dodge you could throw out, right? Like, especially with this character around that, like, the Tech Trunks and the Int Goten, like, they're real runnable. I find this character to be really impressive, the Trunks and Goten. All right, so remember, let's just do... I do need to swap these 2 right here. Are we feeling good about this? Yeah. Yeah, I think so. By the way, we have an ALDS ad that's over. Oh, wait, ALDS? What? No, we're on to the CS. Prac, come on. Come on, ads. Let's go. All right, anyway. So, yeah, wait a minute. No, but that was Yankees Cleveland. That's the ALCS, not DS. Whatever. Anyway, we're good. We're good. We're good. Okay, so here we go. We're done. I like this. What's something people would be upset about? I guess probably Kid Buu below the Gotenkses. That's usually where I see people complaining, but like, I don't like Kid Buu just gets killed in 2 seconds, and like they can dodge. The Gotenkses can die, but like, you know, you've got at least like Kid Buu. It's literally he's targeted, we lost, right? Because most people aren't building him dodge like me. But like the Gotenkses, you know, they get targeted. You have a 50. Well, for him right away, probably a 50% chance or a 40% chance, depending upon if you've already gotten a dodge. And then Gotenks, I mean, he's got 83% dodge, dude. Like, this guy is effective. Maybe I could even move Tech Gotenks up with his better dodge than Videl, better dodge than Kefla, maybe even above Tech Gohan. I don't know. Like, if I really wanted to be generous with Tech Gotenks, I don't think I would go higher than Broly. I don't think so. Broly does feel like a pretty solid and effective. Yeah, dude, that's Yankees Cleveland. That's Jose right there. But why is it DS? I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyway, yeah. Boom. We could get Gotenks maybe above Broly. I really like full Power Frieza's tanking. I always am gonna, you know, kind of concede a little bit more to like a nice character like Beast over a character like a well, I mean, I don't want to use HLUI as an example because he has so many turns of guaranteed dodge, but like, you know, just like a dodging UI Goku or something like that. I'll always take like the Beast Gohan or the Tech Broly like build is definitely going to feel better because they're just eating that shit and there's no fear whatsoever, right? But eventually those characters that could tank aren't able to tank anymore. Yeah, we can end like this. Let me know what you guys think. EZA Wars Top 10. I mean, they give us more stuff like these Super EZAs, man. Super EZAs that are the villain saving mechanic. I love it.